severe cyclonic storm Asani is centered over west central Bay of Bengal and is expected to weaken over today and tomorrow. The storm is inching closer to Andhra Pradesh coast, but landfall is unlikely.
So rainfall is expected in Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, also West Bengal. Chennai has already seen some rains, but the path of the cyclone is expected to curve at this point and not actually make landfall anywhere on the Indian subcontinent. But let's try and go across, if we can, to AVM GP Sharma, who retired, President Met and Climate Change of SkyMet Weather. Thank you very much indeed for speaking with NDTV. What can you tell us at this point about the path of Cyclone Asani and what it's going to mean for the eastern coastal states?
Thank you, Ankita. Path of the cyclone, you see, last, I will say about 12 hours or so, three things have happened. The storm has slowed down. Earlier, it was moving yesterday with a speed of almost about 25 km per hour. It has dropped now, I will say, to just about 10 to 12 km per hour. Also, it seems to be a little weakened now as compared to what we had earlier. It should be, what I see is, earlier I saw the sharp outlines of the storm, which indicates its intensity that's becoming a little red. And the texture was very fine, also it's a little losing. So these are the signs that possibly it's losing its steam or so. Notwithstanding all this, it continues to be a cyclonic storm with winds to the tune of even 80-90 km per hour in gust, possibly exceeding that. So there is no question of lowering any guard. Notwithstanding, as I said, that storm possibly has weakened a little. But then, the track of the storm, it will continue moving, those albeit slowly, northwest. It should come close to the South Andhra Pradesh coast. I will say the closest position, I feel it's somewhere close to Kakinada, it will come. Right. Kakinada and Tuni, that is the closest position. You mentioned something about the landfall. Yesterday also, when I was on your channel, I said it is going to come dangerously close to the coastline. Okay. And it is so. It may appear as such, even in the satellite imageries and all, that it's going to make a landfall. It's very difficult to distinguish at that point of time. Okay, but landfall, generally we say it is complete when the whole system crosses the coast and it moves inland. That's the landfall complete. Right. It may not happen that, but definitely I feel it is, again, I repeat, dangerously close to the coastline, and it should be closer to the place between, I say, Tuni and Kakinada, south of Visakhapatnam. Yes.
So tell us a little more, sir, then, in terms of the kind of precautions that people along the coastlines should take in these three states, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and West Bengal, should these be similar to any other really big cyclone that we've seen in the past? Should there be broad scale evacuations? Should there just be care? What kind of alerts are being sounded at this point?
Ankita, we saw, yes, super cyclone in 2020. Memories are still very sharp. And last year we saw Yas, very serious cyclonic storm, which bashed Odisha, but nothing of that sort. Okay, it is much, even one grade lower intensity means a lot in terms of its damaging potential. It is going to be a cyclonic storm, the initial cat of the storm, which we call it as. Okay, earlier, yes, it was intensified to category 1 equivalent hurricane, but it has dropped. It has dropped its strength now. It is going to be 80-90 kilometer winds will be there over the coastal parts. Right. By evening or tonight, I feel it's going to further move closer, and then the coastal parts of Andhra Pradesh will start experiencing weather. The damaging potential of the storm lies not only in the rains, it is a combination of strong winds and rains. Winds will also be strong. As far as South Coastal Andhra Pradesh is concerned, I feel there is no question of lowering any guard, which we had picked up earlier for the management, the disaster management agencies. Right. They should continue to be there. Yes. As I said, it may not be that furious, which we saw earlier, but then there is a need to exercise full caution over these parts, starting with South Coastal Andhra Pradesh, starting with Machilipatnam, Tuni, Narsapur, Kakinada, and even going out to Vizag, because you see, this storm is going to languish over that area. It is going to nearly crawl from evening onward, spending a lot of time in the proximity of the coast. The longer it stays, obviously the more is the duration of inclement weather conditions.
Right,
So
right.
all that will happen. But then the other two states, Ankita, you mentioned about Odisha and particularly Bengal. I think storm will recurve after about 24 hours. It will move more of a northeastward, increasing its margin from the coastline.
Okay.
It will be a weakened system. I think West Bengal will be at a safe distance from this, and there is no question of any worry. But rains, yes, because the storm covers almost about 500-600 kilometer peripheral areas also, but they will not be damaging rains for West Bengal.
All right.
Yes, Ankita.
Mr. Sharma, thank you very much for that very detailed and very clear explanation of what we are likely to expect in the next couple of days or so. Thank you very much indeed for joining us
Thank you.
on Good
Thank you,
Morning
Ankita.
India.